All right, so today we're talking about section 5.1. It's our introduction to graphing. You may have heard of the coordinate plane before, as well as some of these terms. We're just going to take a few minutes to define them and review them and make sure you've got them before we move on to some more information. So the first term is the coordinate plane. That is a plane that contains the X and Y axis. So everything that we're going to be doing is going to be on a coordinate plane. Now, part of the coordinate plane is the origin. The origin is a point where the X and Y axis meet. Okay? On the coordinate plane, they intersect in one place right in the center of your plane, and that is called the origin. The coordinates of the origin are 0, 0, but you rarely hear anybody say 0, 0. They always refer to the word origin, and you've got to know that that's the point that has these coordinates, right? Now the next term is axes, and you've already heard me say X and Y axis. Axes are the plural, and that's basically your vertical and horizontal lines, which are called the X and Y axis. Some coordinate planes will be labeled for you, others may not, so you've got to know that your horizontal line represents the X axis, the vertical line represents the Y, right? Now the next word is quadrants, and the quadrants break down the parts of your plane. We break down our coordinate plane into 4 regions, and you've also got to know your 4 regions where they are located. So when you have a coordinate plane, let's erase this for a second, get a little more space. You've got 4 regions. We always start here on the right-hand side, that's your quadrant 1. Then you go to the left, that's your quadrant 2. Then you go down, quadrant 3, and then back to the right, quadrant 4. Now each one of these quadrants represents different parts of your plane. Depending on the signs of your points will determine where you go on your plane. Okay? Now the next term is coordinates. Now here's how it works. Every point that you plot, whether it's just a random point or points on your line, has coordinates. The first coordinate is always the X coordinate. That coordinate tells you where you're going to the left and the right. So if we take this word X coordinate, it indicates you moving a point. Let's see how do I want to say this. Indicates the number of units. Okay, keep going. To the left or right. Okay? So remember, this is always going to be your first number to tell you whether you're going to the left or the right. If you're going to the right, the number will be positive. This number right here will be a positive number. If you're going to the left, the number will be negative, right?
Attention in the building. I just sent out an email about a 10:15 meeting.
Okay, the next coordinate is your Y coordinate. That's always going to be the second number right here. That's going to indicate, and I'll put this right here, indicate the number of units up or down, right? So if you're going up, then this number right here will be a positive number. If you're going down, it'll be a negative number. So here are your terms that you have to know. You're going to hear me say them all throughout the unit. The bottom half of your notes, I want you to identify those parts of the coordinate plane, label them, write them down right here. When we start the next video, this is where we'll begin making sure everybody labeled correctly.